All right, Shalom. It's the brother Azanamoth. All right, and first off, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rakah Kadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do real well. Peace and salutations to all the Akim priests, seers, and prophets. All right, so I want to do a lesson, all right, on the wickedness that's suppressed the so-called black men, us Hebrew Israelites. All right. Out of the table of nations, there was 18 nations, and there's one nation that's the chief house of the wicked. Okay. And he's always, implemented himself into where we try to build as a people. You know, whatever we try to do, he is there to tear it down. Okay. So what you see on the screen is Judas and the Black Messiah. We all seen this movie. If you haven't, you should check it out. Right. And this is just a fundamental, just a quick, reminder of how he inserts himself whenever we try to build. But the Lord says when they build, he's going to tear them down. Right. So let's put this on. Just check this out for a second.
Deputy Chairman Fred Hampton of the Illinois Black Panther Party. Repeat after me. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary.
There he is. You see, that was too much for them. This was too much for them to see, right? That's why they come with the red linings, make Jake live outside the boundaries. Anything that the Black Party or any other Israelites, had done, man, these people were there to tear us down. And they're still here today, right? All right. So this devil has a face, man. This is what he looks like. Not particular just him, but them. It's a spirit, right? Just like there's an invisible killer that's dropping people like flies out here. Will someone release that killer, man? Right? Let's get Genesis. All right. This is Genesis 27 and 41, because this devil has always hated you. All right. From the beginning of time, he has hated you because he sold his blessing. All right. He's pissed off about it. You notice this clip, he has on a red hat to go with his red face. This is Genesis 27 and 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing whereof his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. And see, that is what they come in. They come in that spirit. All right. So they don't just hate you. All right. They hate the being of you, man. All right. They hate all of you. MLK dead. Malcolm dead. Marcus Garvey dead. Stokely Carmichael, right? Dead. Bobby Sutton. Bobby Sutton, they killed him when his hands were up, man. Surrendering. All right. Now, I'm not praising no Black Panther Party at all, man. I'm just speaking out and we're pointing this thing out. How whenever we tried to build, they were there to tear us down, man. This is part of the curses. You see, right? This is part of the curses that we have to deal with. Okay, let's go to the book of Ezekiel. All right, because this speaks of the men of the Lord right here that prophesy and speak against this wicked queendom. All right, Babylon, all they offer up is wickedness and lust, covetousness, murder. The prophet Jeremiah warned us about Babylon, man. He told us about the snares and the traps of the wicked. Okay? And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh, cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of. See, that's us crying and sighing about these devils, man, about their plans, about what they want to do. See, right? He took Yahushua up onto the mountain top to show him all the kingdoms that he can give them. But you can't give us anything, right? All right, because you are the wicked, man. And we come from righteousness. Okay? So the Bible tells us who this devil is. Okay? This is Job 9 and 24. It says, The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He cover up the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Yeah, where and who is he? You see? Who else could this be? Right?
18 months for the stolen car, 5 years for impersonating a federal officer, or you can go home. The Black Panthers are forming a rainbow coalition of oppressed brothers and sisters of every color. Their aim is to sow hatred and inspire terror. I will learn all I can.
They was building communities, starting schools, you know, right? All the Israelites that were in jail, you know, incarcerated under false contents, you know, trumped up charges. They was bringing, busing families, you know. What about Black Wall Street? Bombed, right? And then you set up Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and these Uncle Tom Coon ass niggas. You know, you set them up, and Jake, you know, looks at these people as their leaders, but all they do is show up when your son or your daughter's dead. You see, all right. So common knowledge should tell us that these devils are set up to be against you, man. Right? Why would the Lord have indignation forever against these devils? They have went too far with the slavery, with the killing and murdering and robbing and tearing you down and down and down, man. Right? It's Malachi 1 and 4. Right? It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places, thus saith the Lord of hosts. They should build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. You see, it says it's in a people. All right, don't just say just Esau. All right, it says in a people. Let's go to Ezekiel 18. All right, Ezekiel 18 and 18. As for his father, because he cruelly oppressed, spoiled his brother by violence, and did that which is not good among his people. Lo, even he shall die in his iniquity. All right. So even they must die in their iniquity because they've always hated you. Right. Let's get Obadiah. All right. It's a precept. Right. Because they have always hated their brother, man, because of he gave up his birthright, man. This is Obadiah 1 and 10. For the violence against thy brother Jacob. All right? The violence that they have put us through, man. Okay? Right? Let's look up picnic. All right? I put a picnic races. This is what I got. You know, picnic, lynching picnic at Ferris State. Is the word picnic racist? Yet when Southern white people made lynchings a regular occurrence at picnics, the word took on a different meaning. Let's look at this up. What's going on here? Is the word picnic racist? How to deal with the questions about language right now. You know, everything comes from something, man. All right? Everything comes from something. The etymology, okay? Speaking the French word, nothing more but a potluck dinner. Yet, when Southern white people made lynchings a regular occurrence at picnics, all right? Southern whites made a regular occurrence of picnics, man. The word picnic carries with it the memory that there was a time when the white folks gathered to eat outside. Burning black flesh would be on the menu. You see? You see, that's why, again, it says the Lord has indignation forever for the violence against thy brother. Right? Shame shall cover thee, and you shall be cut off forever. All right? Forever, man. Okay? All right? Psalms 83. Psalms 83. Let's get that. All right? Because they've always hated you. You know, you can march all you want to. All right? But they've always hated you. Psalms 83 and 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Who? The tabernacles of Edom. All right? Okay? So anytime that these brothers or any other so-called black men wanted to uplift the community, right? That wicked oppressor was there. Okay? Now, us being teachers and us being sold in the word, all right, we're not out here trying to save the community. Okay, we're out here for the elect. All right, so these men had the Ezekiel 37 spirit, right? All right, where they were as awakened and trying to help the community, but they didn't have the breath. See, the Lord said in Deuteronomy that no one would save us, man. No one would save anybody that was uplifted, all right, to try to lead us. Okay? But Yahweh Shai would come and be that savior. You see? So we just learned that the hangings were a weekly event to celebrate the word picnic, which derives from pick a nigga. Right? Look at this. All right. Elaine massacre. Now this happened just like other events have happened, and many events. But hold on, they want you to remember some Holocaust. But all of our anything that was traumatic in our history has been flushed down and tried to be whitewashed. That's why the Lord says He cover up the faces and He cover up history too. You see, they try to cover up everything, but all this critical race theory, all right, and the internet is biting them on the ass because we get to go back and see things like this. Check this out.
Bloodiest race riots in the country, and it happened right here in Arkansas. Tonight, there's new information from a fact-finding mission by a Little Rock professor.
It covers the time period of October 1919 to January 1920.
We start with Julian Crawford at the Arkansas State Archives. She takes us back 100 years in Phillips County through photos and newspapers. Black veterans returning from World War I were upset over their wages. They hired an attorney and planned to take the sharecroppers to court, but never had the chance. Historians estimate between 100 and 300 African Americans were killed in what's now known as the Elaine Massacre.
So I've been waiting weeks to talk to you about this new discovery in the ledger. Tell me a little bit about what you all found when you opened this up.
We were able to piece together what happened that night immediately following the shootings.
For decades, the black workers were to blame, accused of planning riots. But this ledger, found in the attic of the Helena Museum of Phillips County, tells another story.
We discovered that the posse was comprised largely of the men that made up the American Legion Hall for Phillips County. And they attest to this and give a testimony of how they were recruited in this ledger.
Dr. Ryan Mitchell says it and other recently found documents suggest that the white employers sparked the violence, fearing the lawsuits from their black workers. In 19...
Right? What comes to mind when you see that they started it and blamed the Israelites? Who burned down Rome? Right? And blamed Israel. Nero. Right? Did Nero burn down Rome? This is what reminds you of that. Right? He burned down Rome. And look, this is Apostle Ramla did a video on it. See, he burned down Rome and blamed Israel for it. Right? Just like these men that you just heard in this story. You know?
1920, this letter was sent to
See?
the Little Rock Mosaic Temple supporting the ledger's...
So these devils, all right, killed all these so-called black men, Israelite men, that were supposed to have been sharecropping, but murdered them because they didn't pay them right, man. All right? So you got to ask yourself, how long will Jake be simple, man? How long is Jake going to allow this to happen? You see? Skip Proverbs. Right? Proverbs 1. I got it right there. Okay? How long, man? Right? This is Proverbs 1:21. She crieth in the chief places of the concourse, in the opening of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying. All right? And this is wisdom crying out. All right? So we ask you, through the Spirit, how long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? All right? Jake, how long are you going to love simplicity? You see? Right? Black folks marching for freedom. You know? What has this done? What has this done for us? Nothing. Right? We're still here on the bottom. We're still here being oppressed, depressed, okay, and stressed out. You know? Look at that, man. Look at this right here.
Different books that I can show you, different designs on the wall that I can show you, and I think that's about it. Okay. I can't tell anybody who to vote for, but I can tell you who I can vote for, and I'm going to vote for Biden. We need to remember that, you know, the same way we got him in there before, we have to do the same thing by voting. And we just have to instill in the younger people that they need to come on out to the polls and vote. They need to help people out. If it's older, elderly people, you know, go by and pick them up.
There were some good, but there were also some bad examples of leadership. It's not just about the results. It also is a mark of integrity that our top leader of our country has to show. And all of that matters. All of that matters. And so certainly Biden has proven himself in the last few years, and I'll be voting for him in the next election.
It's going to be a battle of Biden against whoever emerges from the other side, and everything is so extreme on the other side that, you know, I can't see many options besides Biden at this point.
It feels, over the long memory of watching these institutions operate, that we are at a point that isn't like anything that I've watched up until now. And so as this next election gears up, given what we got through the last time, I'm real nervous. Like, and the nerves, the anxiety, it's building all the time.
I don't look forward to it because I know that the ideal person that I would like to be in office is not going to be in office. So I'm just going to have to pick the lesser evil. And as of right now, that does seem like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Also admits to having been civil with Democratic colleagues who were openly racist, like James Eastland, who had a long history of racist remarks, including that black Americans belonged to an inferior race, as well as the segregationist Herman Talmadge, who vigorously opposed school integration.
Governor, this means in effect that your state would set up a private school system. We intend to maintain separate schools in Georgia, one way or another, come what may.
Biden also developed a decades-long friendship with segregationist Strom Thurmond, who he worked with attempting to pass the Biden-Thurmond Violent Crime Control Act in 1991. Biden also spoke at his funeral.
Apparently because the South Side-based Rack City gang had learned that authorities might be onto them. This group, among those charged, with nicknames including Itch, Twig Z, and Baby Stone. They range in age from 33 to 67. A ninth man charged is listed as living in West suburban Hinsdale. Photos of guns confiscated during the operation are shown in federal criminal complaints against the men, from pistols to long guns and some with extended magazines capable of firing dozens of rounds. Also, pictures of the gang's bread and butter, bags and bricks of drugs weighed out after being seized by agents.
You see? So again, how long are you going to love simplicity, the guns, the drugs, fast food, allocated in all of our neighborhoods? You know what I'm saying? Heavy in our neighborhoods. You're living in hell. While they have cafes and Starbucks, living in great situations, living in their heaven. You see? So we try to take care of each other, giving you this knowledge, giving you this understanding. All right? Micah 7:2. The good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net. So you can't be in the spirit of thinking that these devils are going to one day just love you, man. Hey, the word says what? Let's go to it. All right. Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right. So is his wickedness. Never trust your enemy. You see? You can't trust these devils, man. They're the wicked. Because he wants blood. All right? Hey, he wants to put you in the ditch, man. So be smart. All right? Give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kadash, double honor to elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom.